If you would like to know how to make these, the most amazing cinnamon rolls, then continue to watch the video. And while you're at it, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Hello and welcome back to Simon's Bacon Isolation Inspiration, the bacon channel where we don't take ourselves too seriously and we have fudge and good fun while we bake. Now, as you know, today we are making cinnamon buns or cinnamon swirls, depending on where you come from. This is a very popular dish and Americans love it, so fingers crossed, I don't upset them. Ingredients you're going to need to make these things are as follows. I'm going to do it in 3 stages because that's what the recipe requires you to do. So I'm going to start with showing the ingredients and how to make an enriched dough. What is an enriched dough? It's basically a normal dough with some mahula behind it. And let's crack on. In this bowl, I have got 500 grams of strong white bread flour. In this little cup, I have got 10 grams of yeast. It's the dry, fast-acting stuff. In this little tiny pot, I have got 6 grams of salt. In this bowl, I have got 100 grams of butter. In this jug, I have got 300 ml of full-fat milk. 1 little chicky egg. And lastly, in this bowl, I've got 80 grams of sugar. For the filling, you are going to need 70 grams of butter, 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon, and lastly, 60 grams of soft, light brown sugar. Lush. And finally, for the topping, you're going to need 240 grams of icing sugar, and we're going to make it later with a little bit of milk. Now, with the topping and the filling, set them aside because you won't need them for a couple of hours. Now, if you party peeps at home missed any of that, don't worry, family lambs, I've got you. I'm going to list the ingredients in the description down below. Let's crack on with the dough. To start with, you're going to need to get your flour with your yeast, pop it one side of the bowl, and with your salt, pop it the other side of the bowl. Come and have a look in. Yeast one side, salt the other. The reason why you don't mix them together is because it could stop the yeast from working. Now with your sugar, whop that in the bowl as well. Now we've got to heat some milk and the butter together. So get your butter into a saucy pan, whop it straight in, and go in with your milk. Now you want to heat this gently until the butter's melted and it's just warm. I have got my butter and milk on to the boil, really low temperature. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it together until the butter is all melted. Now, as you can see, the butter is melted into the milk. It doesn't matter if there is 1 or 2 little lumps there, here and there. It's all going to get smushed together in a minute anyway. Now with your warm buttery milk, whop it straight in to the bowl. And lastly, go on in with your egg. Look at the way I smashed that. Now, with a spatula, just mix it all in until you get a rough dough. And as you can see, this is what your dough should look like. It's absolutely sticky as anything. But don't worry, we're going to form it into a nice dough. So get some flour and just liberally dust your worktop. Now with your spatula, just make sure you get all of it and turn it out onto the floured top. Just had a little sprinkle of flour on top. Now it's time to knead it. Now you people at home, cheaters using electric mixers, I say no. No to you. Use the muscles. Get in there. You want to knead this for 10 minutes. So cue the kneading montage. That was hard work and I generally have got a sweat on. But you know what? No electric whisk in this household and you won't see me with bingo wings. Crack on. Now you may have seen me use one of these during the process. This is fundamentally the most important bit of equipment I've got in my kitchen. It's a dough scraper. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can get one. Now what I did is at the beginning, it's proper sticky. I mean, like, you'll think, this is ridiculous. But if you get yourself one of these, what you can do is just tuck it under, scrape along, pick it up, and slam it down. And what you do is you just start to do that, and you'll find it brings it all together. And then, by the end, you can knead it with your hands. Easy as that. Now you can see how super soft this is compared to a normal dough. That's because it's enriched. You can tell it's enriched because it's got a nice golden colour. Now what you do is you press your finger in. If it springs back, you know that the dough's fine. And before we put it in a bowl, just get a little bit of flour, sprinkle it in, and just give it a little rub round. That should hopefully stop the dough from sticking. Pick it up, whop it straight in. Now you want to leave this in a warmish place for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. And there we have it. There is my dough. I left mine for about 2 hours. 2 reasons. One, I went out and I've just spent too long outside. And 2, I let it always get to double in size. So if it takes longer than an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, make sure it's double in size. Before we go any further, it's time to do the most boring job. So get your parents to do this, and that's line you a cake tin. Well, you can use a baking tin or a casserole dish, whatever you want. Just make sure it's quite big. This is a 10-inch cake tin. So what you want to do is you'll pop them all in, and then what will happen is they'll spread out and touch each other, and that's what you're looking for. To start with, we need to lightly dust our worktop. Now, we're going to be rolling this dough out quite fine, so you really want a nice lob of flour all over the place. Now that's on there, just flat your rolling pin, put a little bit on top. What we want to do is roll this out into a nice big rectangle. Start in the middle. Now how satisfying does that look? Now you want to get your 70 grams of butter. You want it soft for this. Don't get it out straight out of the fridge when it's rock hard, because you want to be able to spread it across the whole lot. So nice and spreadable. What you want to do is pop it on with the back of a spoon. Just gently spread it out across the whole dough. Now here's a little top tip for you party peeps at home. If your butter's a little bit too cold, a little bit stiff, use your hands. Just give it a little paint over. Your hands are warm and it will melt the butter and help it to spread more evenly. And there we have it. The butter's all on. Now, if you've got a little bit of butter left, don't panic. What you want to do is just rub it all over until it covers the whole dough. And with your sugar and cinnamon, get your cinnamon, pop it in with the sugar. And get your whisking fingers on and just whisk it all together, just like that. And now comes the really fun part, spreading it out. So go up high and literally dust over the whole lot. Have a look at that, nice and mucky, and it's nice and evenly spread out. Now what you want to do is get your first bit and just roll it over. And keep it nice and tight. Once you've got the first bit rolled over, start rolling it up. Putting it tight and rolling. Putting it tight and rolling. There we go, we've got a nice sausage. Now, what we want to do is just quickly whop the ends off. But don't worry, we will be cooking them because we don't like any waste in this household. Now, you want to cut this up evenly until it's all evenly cut up. Do it roughly middle, just put a little bark on it like that. Then halfway again. then halfway again. That's about that. There we go, all evenly cut up. Now it's time to get all these into the baking tin. So, gently pick them up, just give them a little circle, and pop one in the middle. And you want to leave a bit of a gap between them all. And there we go, that's what we're looking for. They've got a little gap either side from the edge. And what we want to do is put the tea towel over it again and let it prove for another hour or until they're all touching together. And there we go, it's been an hour, and have a look at them bad boys. They've puffed up and they've touched the edges and they're all touching each other, and that is what you want. Now I've set the oven 180 degrees, gas mode 4. You want to throw these in there for about 25 minutes, but keep an eye on them. Because this is an enriched dough, they tend to go brown rather fast. And if you think they're getting black, just pop a bit of foil over the top. Come on, get them in. While they're in the oven, it's time to make the nice icing top. So when they come out the oven, you put this on top. And I know you're thinking, you don't put icing on top of a hot cake? Well, put it this way, this recipe calls for it. And I'm going to show you how to do it. You want to make it nice and thick. So get your icing sugar and whop it straight in. Now to start with, go in with 4 tablespoons of milk. Oops. Now with your hand whisk, I know this skull contraption, you know I like it, oldies but goldies, get in there and whisk it all together with the milk. Now I personally think that that is too runny, partly because I accidentally spilled a load of milk in it. So what I'm going to do is get some more icing sugar and tip it in until I get a real nice thick consistency. And there we have it, that's the consistency that you're looking for. Just real thick, ribbony, and just do it on top. See it there, and then it fades back in. My timer's just gone off, and then I'm going to get these out of the oven. I'm going to start with the offcuts first. So I've got my boxing gloves on. Ish. Let's have a look. Have a look at them. It looks like my dog does. Now it's time to get the proper ones out. Left them in there a little bit longer, probably like an extra 8 to 10 minutes. Let's get them out and have a look. Time for the big unveiling. May not be the prettiest, but it's definitely going to taste good. Now it's time to go on with the icing while it's still hot. What it will do is it will melt the icing slightly, and it will all run down in between all the little gaps and all down the side, and it will make it really sticky and lush. So just get it, pour it over. Spread it about. Make sure you get all down the edge. Now, doesn't that look good? Now we need to leave this to cool down until it's completely cooled down. Or, if you really want to scold your mouths and all that, just take it on off now and have it. There we have it, it's all cooled down. It's time to get it out of the tin. Today, I'm not using baked beans. I'm using a tin of chopped tomatoes. Works just as good. So get it. It might be a little bit stuck because of all the icing, but trust me, it will come. Ta-da! There we go, party peeps. That is my cinnamon swirls, buns, whatever you want to call them. What do you reckon? If you like the look of them, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Now it's time to tear them apart. Quite simple. Let's get hold of it. It's a proper sticky, messy job. But have a look at that. Perfect bite that is. And now for the taste test. Super soft, super springy, really cinnamony, real sticky with the icing. It's a winner chicken dinner, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch my video. If you've enjoyed it and you want to subscribe to me, click my face right here. And while you're at it, Pipe Peeps, click here to see all my other videos. Thank you very much. I don't even know why they're called cinnamon rolls. I mean, you wouldn't want to have a nice ham and cheese sandwich. It would be bloody horrible, would it?